Hey YouTubers, today we're looking at getting parts around to hook up a generator to my off-grid cabin. And today I'm just going to get parts together, make sure I got everything wired properly, make sure everything works before I take it out in the woods and try and install it and not have the proper equipment. All right then, here we go with a very crude, do not try this at home. I am definitely not an electrician, but I've got my power run into my backup side, and I got my hot power plugged in over here, got my switch, connected the two on the bottom, run the hot out to an unprotected do not touch plug, which is wired into my light. So let's go ahead and I will find the plug let's plug in the backup power and see how that works. Well, something's definitely happened. The light came on and it automatically switched over to the backup power. Let's go ahead and plug in the normal power. And as you can tell, let's take a look at this light and see how instantaneous or how fast this switch is, and see if it loses power if the light goes out. As you can see, that's pretty fast. I never would have dreamt it'd be that quick. But so I'm going to wire this up in my cabin, run my generator power here and my solar inverter power here, and I'm sure somebody that knows a lot more than me will give me some tips along the way. In this video, we're going to be testing a converter which converts 110 volt electricity to 12 volt that I got out of an old camper that I want to install in my cabin, hooked to my generator on a switch that I can turn it on or turn it off whenever I need it. So we're going to run in these wires, and then we're going to check and see what kind of voltage we're getting out of the 12 volt. Be right back. And here I'm just holding the wires of my voltmeter reader, and it says we got 13.6 volts coming out of the converter. Perfect. Ready for an install in the cabin. Okay, we got the inverter power on of the 1500 watt pure sine wave inverter hooked up to the power transfer or the automatic transfer switch. Let's go ahead and flip it to automatic and see if it turns. Perfect. Awesome. So when the generator kicks out, it will automatically switch over to the inverter for power in the cabin when the generator runs out of gas on them cold winter nights. Got the little 2000 watt generator running. Let's make sure that'll turn the automatic transfer switch on. We got it in manual mode. Let's flip it to automatic and make sure it turns it over. Perfect. So the generator will run until it runs out of gas, and then it will automatically switch over to my solar system at night. Now all we got to do is get it all wired in and make sure it works. All right, we're on the outside of the cabin right now, getting ready to wire in the generator plug. We're going to go ahead, pop that in, and we'll get right back with you. And this is what the generator plug looks like on the outside. I'm just running a 2000 watt generator. I did put a 10 gauge wire on this plug just in case I ever do upgrade the plug and go to a larger generator. I can run 30 amp, but right now I'm not running anything close to that, so this is more than sufficient, in my opinion. Here we're wiring in a switch for the converter that will run with the generator on, but you'll have the switch that you can turn it on, turn it off if the batteries are charged, but you just need the extra power and you don't want to drain your batteries. Or in the winter time when the batteries are low and you run the generator, you can use the converter from a camper to charge your batteries. We'll get back with you in a second. And then we got the converter switch all wired in and ready to go. Now to keep hooking the rest of it up. Okay, little update. We got all the wires pulled, got the box mounted, got the 2 circuits, one for the microwave and the water heater, and the other one runs the rest of the cabin with the air conditioner. So now we got to wire in the automatic switchover, tie in the inverter and the generator, and run that wire to the fuse box. Automatic transfer switch wired in. This is the inverter. This is the generator with 2 extra hot wires for the, well, hot and a ground for the converter to charge the batteries that go to a switch. So I can turn that on and off when I want, and it can only be powered on when the generator's running. We're going to go ahead and get that put in. Fuse panel, automatic transfer switch, and a wiry mess, because I always let extra wire, probably not the thing to do. Complete. And now it's time to get the inverter put in. Got to build a box to set it in, to mount it, and then we'll get it wired up. So a real electrician would have a fit with this, but there's the inverter. I'm sorry, converter. And that goes down and feeds the batteries. Converter's all hooked up. Let's go ahead and flip the switch and see what we have going on. There's the converter switch. I unhooked the solar. I don't know if you guys see these very often, but if it had any solar power, it would light up over here. But regardless, the batteries are at 12.9. I'm going to click the switch on. The converter kicks in, and we're up to 13.5. That works awesome. Well, it's 96 degrees out today. Got the little Jenny running. Got it plugged in. Can't see the lights, but it's all on manual. I got it on manual because I don't have it all done yet because I'm slow. Got the box in. All right, here we go. You guys are going to have to keep an eye on this because I can't be everywhere at one time. It's running on the generator right now. I'm going to go ahead and unplug the generator, and it should switch over to my inverter and the batteries. Perfect. It looks as though it did. And the air conditioner is still running, just as planned. If you got those cheap things, throw them away. Get a good 200 amp. So we got the generator feeding one side and the wires to go to the converter. And then the wires come out of the transfer and go into the box. So I have 2 feeds coming out of there. One main, one goes to the bath, and one goes to the living quarters. Pretty long and painful, but we got there. Well, I know my video's quite hard to follow with all the wires and the mess and everything I have. So here's a better drawn out plan of what I put together for my off-grid system. Pretty happy with it so far, but I'll have to give it some time and see how it all works. If I have any problems or you see something I did wrong, please throw me a little something down in the comments and let me know. I don't want to burn my little cabin in the woods down. But thanks for watching. I hope this helps, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.